What if the secret to wealth was never about chasing money, but becoming it? This audiobook shatters the myths keeping you stuck and reveals the science-backed truth. Wealth isn't earned, it's attracted. Rewire your mind, shift your energy, and watch money flow effortlessly. Are you ready? Introduction. If you've ever felt trapped in a never-ending cycle, working tirelessly just to make ends meet, constantly worrying about money, or wondering why financial freedom seems to be reserved for a select few while you struggle to catch up, then I need you to pay close attention. Because everything you've been taught about money, the idea that if you just work harder, save more and sacrifice your time, one day you'll be free, is a lie. It's a system designed to keep you running in place, chasing money instead of attracting it. And until you break free from that mindset, no amount of effort will change your financial reality. This audiobook is not just about making money. It's about becoming money, about rewiring your mind to operate on the same frequency as those who seem to have an effortless relationship with wealth. It's about stopping the endless chase and stepping into a state where money naturally flows to you. This is not a motivational speech or a collection of generic financial tips. This is a deep, transformational process designed to shift your entire approach to wealth. For years, I did everything society told me to do. I worked hard, followed all the so-called smart financial strategies, and yet I always felt like I was just one unexpected expense away from financial disaster. No matter how much money I made, it never felt like enough. I would push myself harder, thinking that surely the next raise, the next investment, the next opportunity would be the one that changed everything. But it never was. And I realized that the problem wasn't how much money I was making. It was how I was thinking about money in the first place. My relationship with wealth was built on scarcity, fear, and limitation. And as long as I operated from that mindset, I would always be stuck in financial survival mode. That realization changed my life. Instead of focusing on how to make more money, I started studying the psychology, the science, and the energy behind wealth. I immersed myself in understanding why some people effortlessly attract abundance, while others struggle their entire lives. I explored neuroscience, behavioral psychology, quantum physics, and real-world financial systems. And what I discovered completely shattered my old beliefs about money. Money is not just about numbers in a bank account. It's a reflection of your internal state. The wealthiest people in the world do not chase money. They don't wake up every day stressing about how to make more. Instead, they have built themselves into money magnets, people who operate from a place of confidence, abundance, and certainty, allowing wealth to flow to them naturally. The key to financial success is not in working harder or saving more. It's in becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth. And that's exactly what this audiobook will teach you to do. You are going to learn how to reprogram your mind to think like the wealthy, to eliminate the subconscious beliefs that are keeping you stuck, and to step into a new reality where financial success is no longer a struggle, but a natural result of who you are. This book is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about money. You're going to learn that wealth is not something external that you have to chase. It's something internal that you must embody. And once you make this shift, money will start coming to you in ways that you never imagined possible. You'll begin to notice opportunities everywhere. You'll find yourself making financial decisions with confidence and clarity. You'll no longer operate from fear or scarcity, but from a place of power and certainty. And most importantly, you'll realize that you were never meant to struggle financially. Wealth is your birthright. Abundance is your natural state. But to access it, you have to be willing to break free from the conditioning that has kept you stuck. The way this audiobook is structured is designed to take you step by step through this transformation. We will begin by uncovering the subconscious programming that has been shaping your financial reality, often without you even realizing it. From childhood most of us are taught limiting beliefs about money, ideas that it is scarce, difficult to earn, or that wealth is only for a select few. These beliefs shape our financial behavior and keep us stuck in patterns of struggle, but neuroscience has proven that our brains are malleable. We can rewire our thought patterns and reprogram our subconscious mind to align with abundance. You will learn practical, science-backed techniques to recondition your brain, shifting from scarcity thinking to a mindset of limitless wealth. From there, we will explore how energy plays a crucial role in financial success. Quantum physics has shown us that everything in the universe, including money, is energy. This means that the way you feel about wealth directly impacts how much of it flows into your life. If you are constantly stressed, anxious, or doubtful about money, you are energetically repelling it. But when you shift into a state of certainty, confidence, and abundance, money starts flowing to you effortlessly. You will learn how to raise your financial frequency and align yourself with the energy of wealth, allowing money to come to you in ways that seem almost magical, but are actually rooted in universal principles. Next, we will break down the habits, strategies, and decision-making patterns of the ultra-wealthy. While most people make financial decisions based on fear, those who build lasting wealth operate from a completely different playbook. You will learn how to think, act, and make financial moves like the top 1%. This includes mastering the skill of money multiplication, understanding how to create multiple streams of income effortlessly, and learning how to turn money into an ally rather than a source of stress. You will also discover the power of leverage, how the wealthy use systems, investments, and strategic risk-taking to create exponential financial growth. But this audiobook is not just about theory, it's about action. At the end of each section, you will have powerful exercises and action steps designed to shift your financial reality immediately. This is not just about learning, it's about transformation. By the time you finish this book, you will no longer see money the same way. You will no longer be stuck in the endless cycle of working harder and saving more, hoping that one day you'll be free. Instead, you will have stepped into a new identity, an identity where wealth is not something you chase, but something you naturally attract. And here's the best part. You don't need to be born rich to do this. You don't need to have a trust fund, an Ivy League degree, or even a business background. You just need one thing: a willingness to change the way you think about money. Because once you shift your mindset, everything else follows. So, as you listen to this audiobook, I want you to keep an open mind. Some of the concepts you'll hear may challenge what you've always believed about money. Some of them may feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is a sign that you are breaking free from old, limiting beliefs. Trust the process. Apply what you learn. And I promise you, by the time you finish this audiobook, you will never see money the same way again. Are you ready to stop chasing money and start becoming it? Then let's begin. Chapter 1. The Money Mindset Shift. There's something about money that people misunderstand entirely. They think it's about working harder, grinding longer hours, or chasing every dollar they can get their hands on. But what if I told you that's the exact reason most people struggle? What if the harder you chase, the further money runs from you? This might sound counterintuitive, but it's the truth. Wealth isn't something you run after. It's something you attract. It's something you become. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now. How to shift your mindset from one that repels money to one that makes money a natural byproduct of who you are. For most people, the first ideas about money were shaped long before they even had their first job or business. Think back to when you were a child. What did you hear about money? Maybe your parents or guardians constantly said things like, "We can't afford that," or "Money is hard to come by," or "Rich people are greedy." Even if they never said it outright, maybe you watched them stress over bills, argue about finances, or work multiple jobs just to survive. All of that shaped your subconscious beliefs. And your beliefs about money? They dictate how you interact with it, whether you realize it or not. If deep down you believe money is stressful, you will always find yourself in financial stress. If you believe money is scarce, you will always struggle to make more than just enough. If you were taught that rich people are bad, your subconscious will actually prevent you from becoming rich because you don't want to be seen as one of those people. These beliefs are invisible scripts running in the background of your mind, influencing your financial reality. And until you rewrite them, no amount of hard work will ever make you truly wealthy. So let's start rewriting them right now. First, let's address the biggest lie society tells us about money, that it's a limited resource. This is one of the most dangerous beliefs because it keeps people stuck in scarcity mode. Scarcity tells you that there's only so much to go around, that if someone else gets rich, you lose, that you must fight for your piece of the pie. But let's challenge that for a second. Look around. Money is literally being created every single day. Businesses generate billions, investments grow, new industries emerge, the economy expands. The wealthiest people don't fight over scraps. They create value that generates more wealth. They understand that money is not something to be hoarded. It's something that flows. And this brings us to the first mindset shift. Money follows value. Read that again. Money follows value. It doesn't follow effort. It doesn't follow time spent. It follows the creation of something valuable. This is why two people can work the same number of hours, yet one barely scrapes by while the other is financially thriving. The person who makes more isn't necessarily working harder. They're just creating more value. This is why athletes, entertainers, entrepreneurs, and innovators make millions while someone working 3 jobs might still struggle to pay rent. It's not fair, but it's reality. Money doesn't care about fairness. It cares about value. Now, I know what some people are thinking, but I work hard. I put in effort every day. Why am I still struggling? And that's a fair question, but effort alone doesn't generate wealth. Strategic, value-driven effort does. If hard work were the key to financial success, construction workers, janitors, and teachers would be millionaires. But they're not, because their income is limited by how their value is perceived in the marketplace. This is not to say their work isn't important. It absolutely is. But money follows perceived value, not effort. The good news? You can increase your perceived value. You can shift from being someone who works for money to someone who attracts it effortlessly. The first step is to stop trading time for money. This is where most people go wrong. They think the only way to make money is to work a job, clock in, trade hours for a paycheck, and repeat. But that's the slowest and least efficient way to build wealth. The wealthiest people do not exchange time for money. They create assets, systems, and leverage that allow them to earn even when they're not actively working. Think about this. If your income stops the moment you stop working, you don't own your income. Your job owns you. And that's a dangerous position to be in. So how do you break free from this cycle? It starts with shifting from a worker mindset to an owner mindset. Workers focus on wages. Owners focus on assets. Workers depend on employers. Owners create value that attracts wealth. Workers are stuck in a linear income model. Owners build multiple streams of income. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. It means you need to start thinking differently about how you earn. Start asking yourself, how can I create value in a way that scales beyond my personal time? Maybe it's investing. Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's building a personal brand. Whatever it is, the key is to step out of the time for money trap. The second major shift is to stop fearing money. Too many people have a negative emotional relationship with wealth. They associate money with stress, greed, or even guilt. And because of that, they subconsciously push it away. Think about it. if money were a person and every time it showed up, you reacted with fear, stress, or discomfort? Why would it want to stick around? But if you start seeing money as a neutral, powerful tool, one that allows you to create, build, and impact the world, you'll start interacting with it differently. Instead of avoiding financial discussions, you'll engage with them. Instead of feeling guilty about making money, you'll embrace it as a sign of the value you're creating. And finally, the most important shift, you must start seeing yourself as a person who deserves wealth. Too many people carry around a subconscious belief that wealth is for other people, that they're not good enough, smart enough, or lucky enough to be rich. But let me tell you something. Wealth is not about luck. It's about mindset, strategy, and execution. The people who succeed financially aren't necessarily the smartest or most talented. They're just the ones who believe they can. They're the ones who take risks, who bet on themselves, who refuse to accept mediocrity as their fate. So as we move forward in this book, I want you to do something. I want you to start shifting how you think about money. Stop seeing it as something out there that you have to chase, and start seeing it as something you naturally attract by who you become. The person who creates value. The person who thinks abundantly. The person who takes action rather than waits for permission. Because the truth is, money isn't something you find. It's something you become. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Step by step, chapter by chapter, I'm going to show you exactly how to rewire your mindset, shift your financial reality, and stop looking for money once and for all. It's time to step into a new way of thinking, a new way of earning, a new way of living. Because once you make this shift, everything else will follow. Chapter 2. Redefining wealth. It's more than just money. Most people think wealth is just about money. They believe that if they had more cash, a higher paycheck, or a winning lottery ticket, they'd be rich. But wealth is not just numbers in your bank account. It's a mindset. It's a system. It's a way of life. That's why so many people who suddenly come into money, whether through inheritance, lottery winnings, or even massive business success, end up broke just a few years later. You've probably heard the stories. Athletes who earned millions and lost everything. Celebrities who filed for bankruptcy. Everyday people who got a financial windfall and wasted it all. It's not because they weren't lucky enough or didn't have opportunities. It's because they never understood wealth in the first place. They had money, but they weren't truly wealthy. So what does it actually mean to be wealthy? It means having control over your time, freedom to make choices, security to handle unexpected situations, and peace of mind, knowing that your financial future isn't tied to your next paycheck. It means that you are in charge, not your bills, not your debt, not the fear of losing everything if you miss a month of work. Wealth is about more than money. It's about options. The option to walk away from a bad job, the option to travel when you want, the option to give generously, the option to pursue opportunities without constantly worrying about how much is left in your bank account. But to reach that level, you have to start thinking about wealth differently. Instead of chasing quick money, you have to build lasting wealth. Instead of focusing only on earning, you have to focus on keeping, growing, and protecting what you make. Because making money is one thing, keeping it and multiplying it is a completely different skill set. That's why so many people stay broke, even when they start making more. They level up their income, but never level up their financial intelligence. They get a raise and immediately increase their spending. They earn more, but they also spend more, leaving them in the exact same place, just with bigger numbers on their pay stubs. This is why wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how well you make that money work for you. Now, let's talk about the key pillars of wealth. Because once you understand these, you'll never see money the same way again. The first pillar is financial stability. This is your foundation. If you don't have stability, you don't have freedom. You're just surviving, constantly stressed about how to cover next month's expenses. Stability means having enough savings to handle emergencies, staying out of bad debt, and making sure your daily financial life isn't a constant struggle. Too many people skip this step. They want to invest, they want to build businesses, they want to take big risks, but they don't even have a basic emergency fund in place. And when life inevitably throws challenges their way, they crumble because they built their financial house on sand instead of rock. The second pillar is financial growth. This is where you move from stability to expansion. It's about increasing your income, but not in the traditional way most people think about. It's not just about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about diversifying income streams, learning how to invest, and making sure your money is working for you instead of you always working for money. Growth happens when you shift from earning money to multiplying it. When you start thinking not just about what you make today, but how you can use today's money to create tomorrow's wealth. The third pillar is financial freedom. This is the ultimate goal. It's when your assets generate enough income to cover your lifestyle, meaning you no longer have to work unless you want to. This is where wealth becomes truly powerful because it gives you complete control over your life. But here's the truth. Most people will never reach this level, not because it's impossible, but because they're unwilling to change the way they think. They get comfortable. They stay in their habits. They tell themselves financial freedom is only for the ultra-rich. But the truth is, anyone can build wealth if they commit to the right mindset, the right habits, and the right financial strategies. Now, let's get practical. How do you start redefining wealth in your life? First, you have to stop thinking about money as a short-term game. Stop looking for quick fixes. Stop making decisions based only on the next few months. Start thinking long-term. Every financial decision you make today will either move you closer to wealth or further away from it. The way you spend, the way you save, the way you invest, it all compounds over time. Most people underestimate the power of compounding because they're too focused on immediate results. They want to see massive returns right away. They want success now, but wealth doesn't work that way. It grows quietly at first, then exponentially later. The people who win financially are the ones who understand this and play the long game. The second step is to break free from the consumer mindset and shift into a wealth-building mindset. Society conditions us to spend. Every ad, every marketing campaign, every social pressure tells you to buy more, upgrade, keep up with trends. And if you're not careful, you'll end up working just to fund a lifestyle that keeps you broke. True wealth isn't about looking rich. It's about being rich. It's about making sure your money is going toward things that actually build your future, not just make you look successful for a moment. The third step is to start thinking about assets instead of expenses. Every dollar you earn has a job. It can either be used to buy things that lose value or things that grow in value. The rich use their money to buy assets, things like stocks, real estate, businesses, intellectual property. The poor and middle class spend their money on liabilities, things that decrease in value the moment they buy them. This doesn't mean you can never spend on luxuries, but it means you must prioritize wealth building first. Most people do it backward. They spend first and then try to save what's left. But the wealthy save and invest first and then spend what's left. That small shift makes all the difference. And finally, you have to understand that wealth is about ownership. The richest people don't just earn money, they own things. They own businesses, they own stocks, they own real estate, they own intellectual property. They don't just work for money, they let money work for them. If you want to build true wealth, you need to start owning something. You need to create something that can generate money beyond your direct effort. Because the moment you stop working, your income stops. And that's not freedom. Freedom is when your money keeps flowing, whether you work or not. So, take a moment and ask yourself, where are you in your wealth journey? Are you just surviving, stuck in the cycle of earning and spending? Are you growing, learning how to multiply your money? Or are you on the path to financial freedom, where your assets generate wealth for you? No matter where you are, the shift starts today. From this point forward, stop thinking about money as something you earn and start thinking about wealth as something you build. Because real wealth isn't found in your paycheck. It's found in how you think, how you invest, and how you take control of your financial future. The old way of looking at money is over. The new way? It's about creating lasting wealth, not just temporary income. It's about becoming someone who doesn't just make money, but who builds a financial legacy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Chapter 3. Stop looking for money, become money. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money. They wake up every morning thinking about how to make more, how to stretch what they have, how to cover their expenses, and how to escape financial stress. They chase promotions, look for side hustles, and search for shortcuts that promise instant riches. But here's the brutal truth. As long as you are looking for money, you will never truly have it. You will always be in pursuit, always one step behind, always needing more but never feeling like you have enough. Because the secret to wealth isn't in running after money. It's in becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Think about it. Why do some people seem to have money flowing to them effortlessly, while others struggle, no matter how hard they work? Is it luck, privilege, special connections? Sure, those things can help, but they are not the defining factor. The difference is in how they think, how they move, and how they position themselves in the world. Wealthy people don't chase money. They embody the energy of money. They understand that financial success is not something external. It's something internal first. It's about mindset, behavior, and perception. So if you're serious about transforming your financial reality, you have to stop looking for money and start embodying wealth. This means developing the skills, habits, and mindset that turn you into a financial magnet. It means shifting from being someone who wants money to someone who attracts money. It means becoming valuable in a way that makes money a byproduct of who you are, not just something you constantly have to chase. The illusion of the money chase. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that the way to financial success is to work harder. The more hours you put in, the more sacrifices you make, the more money you will have, right? Wrong. The truth is, the hardest working people are often the least financially successful. If raw effort alone determined wealth, then factory workers, janitors, teachers, and construction laborers, some of the hardest working people on the planet, would be billionaires. But they're not. Because the game of money isn't about effort. It's about strategy and value creation. The problem with chasing money is that it keeps you stuck in a reactive cycle. You are always looking for the next paycheck, the next opportunity, the next financial break. And because you are focused on getting money instead of creating value, you stay stuck in the same loop. You are dependent on external factors, your job, the economy, the next client, or the next gig, rather than becoming self-sufficient. Wealthy people play a different game. They don't ask, how can I make more money? They ask, how can I create something so valuable that money naturally follows? That one question changes everything. Becoming a person of value. If money follows value, then your goal should be to increase your value, not just your effort. The marketplace doesn't care how hard you work. It cares about how much value you provide. So, how do you increase your value? 1. Develop high-income skills. The fastest way to shift from chasing money to attracting it is to build skills that the market highly values. Skills like sales, negotiation, marketing, investing, software development, leadership, and problem solving are in high demand. These are the skills that make people indispensable and allow them to command higher earnings. The more rare and valuable your skill set, the more money naturally flows to you. 2. Master the art of problem solving. Money moves toward people who solve problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more you earn. This is why entrepreneurs and innovators build massive wealth. They identify pain points in the market and create solutions. Instead of thinking, "How can I make money?" start asking, "What problem can I solve for a large number of people?" The moment you position yourself as a problem solver, you stop looking for money, and money starts looking for you. Third shift. From a worker to an owner. Employees trade time for money. Owners create systems that generate money without their constant involvement. If you want to stop chasing money, you need to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. This doesn't mean you have to start a business, but it does mean you need to start investing in assets, things that generate wealth without your direct effort. Stocks, real estate, intellectual property, automated businesses. These are the things that make people wealthy while they sleep. 4. Build a powerful network. Your income is directly tied to the people you surround yourself with. Wealthy people spend time with other wealthy people because they exchange ideas, opportunities, and resources that create more wealth. If you want to level up financially, you need to start surrounding yourself with people who think bigger, earn bigger, and play the wealth game at a higher level. 5. Change your relationship with money. Most people fear money, stress over it, or view it as something scarce. But money is just energy. It flows where it is welcomed and repelled where it is feared. If you treat money like a problem, it will always be a problem. If you treat money like a tool, it will become a tool for your freedom. Start seeing money as something that works for you, not something you are constantly trying to hold on to out of fear. The energy of money. This might sound strange, but money has energy. Have you ever noticed that broke people always seem to have financial problems, no matter how much money they make? Or that rich people always seem to find opportunities, no matter what the economy is doing? That's not a coincidence. That's the result of mindset and energy. The way you feel about money dictates how money moves in your life. If you are constantly anxious, desperate, or fearful about money, you repel it. But if you move with confidence, abundance, and a belief that money is a tool you control, not something that controls you, you start attracting more of it. One of the most powerful things you can do is shift into a state of financial certainty. Instead of operating from a place of needing money, move from a place of knowing that you are valuable and that money will always find its way to you. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you stop acting out of desperation. Desperate energy repels money. Confident energy attracts it. This is why some people can lose millions and make it all back quickly. They have become money in the way they think, act, and create value. Your money blueprint starts now. Now that you understand the difference between chasing money and becoming money, it's time to apply it. Start by shifting your focus from earning to creating value. Look at your current skill set. How can you make yourself more valuable in the marketplace? Look at your habits. Are you thinking like a worker or an owner? Look at your financial energy. Are you operating from scarcity or abundance? These small shifts make all the difference. The moment you stop looking for money and start becoming the kind of person who attracts it, everything changes. Money is not something outside of you. It is a reflection of your mindset, habits, and the value you create. The sooner you embody this, the sooner you will experience financial transformation. So take a deep breath and make the decision right now. You are done chasing. You are done searching. From this point forward, you are becoming money. And once you do that, you will never have to worry about money again. Chapter 4. Mastering the Money Frequency: How to Align with Abundance. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to have money effortlessly flowing to them, while others struggle no matter how hard they work, the answer isn't just luck or skill, it's alignment. It's the energy they carry, the thoughts they nurture, and the way they move in the world. Money operates on a frequency, and whether you realize it or not, you are constantly either tuning into it or repelling it. Imagine a radio station broadcasting at a specific frequency. If you're not tuned in to that exact frequency, you can't hear the music. It's just static. Money works the same way. If you're not aligned with the frequency of wealth, all you experience is financial static, stress, struggle, and uncertainty. But the moment you tune in correctly, everything becomes clearer. Money flows to you. Opportunities arise. You stop chasing and start receiving. The problem is that most people never learn how to align with money's frequency. They've been conditioned by society to operate from scarcity, to believe that money is hard to get, that wealth is for a select few, and that financial success requires struggle. These beliefs keep them out of sync with abundance, no matter how hard they work. That's why they can earn more but still feel broke. Why they can chase money but never seem to catch it. Because wealth is not about what you do. It's about how you think and who you become. So let's break it down. How do you tune into the money frequency? How do you shift from scarcity to abundance, from struggle to flow, from chasing to attracting? The answer lies in understanding and mastering the key elements of financial alignment. Step 1. Reprogram your mindset, your beliefs. Shape your wealth. Everything in your financial life starts with your beliefs. If you believe money is scarce, you will subconsciously sabotage yourself every time you get ahead. If you believe wealth is evil, you will subconsciously push money away, even when opportunities present themselves. Your subconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious actions. That's why two people can receive the same financial opportunity, and one will turn it into a fortune, while the other loses it all. It's not about luck, it's about mindset programming. To align with the money frequency, you must rewire your subconscious beliefs about wealth. Start by identifying the limiting beliefs you've carried since childhood. Were you raised in a home where money was always a source of stress? Were you taught that rich people are greedy? Did you grow up hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees? Or, you have to work hard for every dollar? If so, these beliefs are running in the background of your mind like a faulty program, keeping you stuck in scarcity mode. The way to change this is through conscious reprogramming. You need to replace old beliefs with new, empowering ones. Start by affirming statements like, money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I am worthy of unlimited wealth. Opportunities for financial growth are always around me. Wealth is my natural state. At first, your mind may resist these statements, but repetition is key. Your subconscious accepts whatever is repeated often enough. The more you reinforce abundance, the more your mind will shift, and once your mind shifts, your external reality will follow. Step 2. The law of value. How to become a money magnet. Money doesn't come from thin air, it follows value. The more value you provide to the world, the more money you attract. This is why some people struggle financially, even though they work hard. They are focused on effort, not value. Effort alone doesn't attract money. You could work 16-hour days doing something that provides little value to the marketplace, and you'd still be broke. But when you create massive value, money naturally flows to you. Think about the richest people in the world: Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey. They don't get rich by working harder than everyone else. They get rich because they provide extraordinary value at a massive scale. They solve big problems, serve millions, and create products and services that people want and need. Money is simply a reward for the value they bring to the world. So the question you should be asking yourself is not, how can I make more money? But, how can I create more value? What skills, talents, or knowledge do you have that can help others? What solutions can you provide? The moment you shift your focus from money to value, money will start chasing you instead of you chasing it. Step 3. Breaking free from scarcity. The power of detachment. One of the biggest mistakes people make is attaching too much emotional weight to money. They obsess over it, stress about it, and let it dictate their mood. But the more you need something, the more you push it away. Desperate energy repels money, while calm, confident energy attracts it. Think about relationships. When someone is desperate for love, they often struggle to find it. But the moment they stop chasing and focus on themselves, they suddenly become more attractive. Money works the same way. When you detach from the need for money and instead focus on providing value, mastering your mindset, and trusting that wealth is coming, you shift into a state of flow. This doesn't mean being careless or reckless with money. It means shifting from scarcity to abundance. Instead of feeling like money is always slipping through your fingers, you operate with the belief that money is constantly flowing to you. Instead of feeling like you must land a deal, get a raise, or close a sale to survive, you trust that wealth is a natural part of your life. This shift in energy is powerful, and once you master it, financial opportunities will start appearing effortlessly. Step 4. Money as energy, understanding the flow. Money, like everything else, is energy. It flows to places where it is respected, managed well, and appreciated. If you constantly complain about money, fear losing it, or view it as a source of stress, you are sending out negative energy that repels it. But if you treat money with respect, managing it wisely, investing it smartly, and using it as a tool for growth, it will naturally multiply. One powerful exercise is to speak positively about money. Instead of saying, "I can't afford this," say, "How can I afford this?" Instead of saying, "Money is always a problem," say, "Money is always finding its way to me." Your words shape your financial reality. The more you speak abundance, the more you will experience it. Step 5. Trusting the process. The wealth flow formula. Once you align with the money frequency, wealth becomes inevitable. You stop experiencing financial droughts, and instead, you move into a state of constant flow. But here's the key. Trust the process. Wealth is not built overnight. There will be moments of doubt, times when old scarcity thoughts creep back in, times when financial challenges arise. But if you stay committed to the principles of alignment, value creation, detachment, and abundance thinking, you will always come out ahead. Trust that money is on its way. Trust that opportunities are always present. Trust that your alignment is working even when results are not immediate. Most people fail because they give up too soon. They plant seeds, but never water them long enough to see the harvest. Stay consistent, stay aligned, and watch how money starts flowing to you in ways you never imagined. Final thought. Your wealth transformation begins now. You are no longer someone who looks for money. You are someone who attracts it. You are no longer a worker chasing paychecks. You are a value creator who commands wealth. You are no longer stuck in scarcity. You are aligned with financial flow. From this moment forward, operate from abundance. Move with confidence. Trust that wealth is already yours, and you will start seeing proof of it in your life. This is the shift. This is the new way. This is how you become money. Chapter 5. The Science of Financial Attraction. Turning yourself into a money magnet. What if money wasn't something you had to chase, but something that naturally gravitated toward you? What if, instead of constantly searching for the next paycheck, the next opportunity, or the next financial break, you simply became the kind of person who effortlessly attracts wealth? This is not some abstract idea. It's a science. Wealth is not random. It is not reserved for a lucky few. It follows predictable patterns, and if you understand those patterns, you can position yourself to receive money effortlessly. The reason most people struggle with money isn't because they don't work hard enough or because they lack opportunities. It's because they are out of alignment with the principles that govern financial attraction. They think like the poor, act like the poor, and move like the poor. And as a result, they stay stuck in cycles of scarcity, constantly searching for money, but never truly finding financial security. The wealthy, on the other hand, understand that money is simply energy. They understand that wealth flows toward those who operate on its frequency. They don't chase, they attract. So how do you shift from being someone who struggles financially to someone who magnetizes money? How do you reprogram your mind, actions, and habits to create an environment where wealth flows to you naturally? The answer lies in mastering the science of financial attraction. If you apply these principles, money will no longer be something you desperately pursue. It will become something that follows you wherever you go. Step 1. Rewiring your financial identity. Who you are determines what you have. Your financial reality is a direct reflection of your identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, your subconscious mind will create situations that confirm that belief. If you see yourself as someone who barely gets by, you will always find yourself just making enough to survive. Your subconscious does not argue with you. It simply executes whatever identity you feed it. This is why lottery winners often go broke within a few years. Their financial identity never shifted. They still saw themselves as average people who just happened to get lucky. And so their subconscious mind worked overtime to return them to their previous financial state. If you want to attract wealth, you must first become wealthy in your mind. You must create a new financial identity, one that aligns with abundance. Start seeing yourself as a wealthy person even before your bank account reflects it. Walk, talk, and think like someone who has already achieved financial success. Wealthy people make decisions based on long-term gain, not short-term survival. They focus on multiplying money, not just earning it. They surround themselves with high-level thinkers, not people stuck in cycles of financial struggle. Every time you catch yourself thinking like a broke person, worrying about bills, stressing over money, doubting your ability to attract wealth, immediately correct yourself. Say, "That is not who I am anymore. I am wealthy. I attract abundance. Money flows to me effortlessly." This is not just wishful thinking. It is programming. The more you affirm your new financial identity, the faster your subconscious will align with it, and the sooner your external reality will shift. Step 2. The power of perception. Seeing wealth before it arrives. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to attract money is focusing on lack. They obsess over their financial problems, their debt, and their struggles. But whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly think about financial struggle, you will attract more struggle. If you constantly worry about money, you will create more situations that reinforce that worry. Wealthy people operate differently. They don't ignore their financial challenges, but they don't give them power either. Instead, they focus on opportunity. They train their minds to see abundance even before it arrives. They visualize wealth, success, and financial freedom as if it already exists. And because their mind is focused on expansion instead of limitation, they begin to attract the very circumstances that make their vision a reality. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool. If you spend just a few minutes every day vividly imagining your financial success, feeling the emotions of abundance, picturing yourself living in wealth, and seeing money flowing to you, you will rewire your brain to operate from a state of abundance rather than scarcity. And once you shift your perception, the opportunities and resources you need to create wealth will start appearing effortlessly. Step 3. Financial energy, the secret behind money flow. Have you ever noticed that broke people always seem to have money problems no matter how much they make? Or that wealthy people always seem to land new opportunities no matter what's happening in the economy? This is not a coincidence. It's the result of financial energy. The way you feel about money dictates how money moves in your life. If you constantly stress over money, operate in fear, and worry about losing what you have, you send out an energetic signal of scarcity. And because like attracts like, you will experience more financial stress, more unexpected expenses, and more struggle. But if you move with confidence, trust that money is always coming to you, and see yourself as someone who naturally attracts wealth, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, your financial reality shifts with it. One of the most powerful ways to elevate your financial energy is to start acting like a wealthy person. This doesn't mean spending recklessly. It means embodying the energy of abundance. Wealthy people don't stress over small expenses. They don't obsess over discounts, and they don't operate in fear. They understand that money is a tool, not something to be hoarded out of anxiety. They trust that money is always flowing, and because of that, it does. Step 4. The law of circulation, giving and receiving. Without fear, money is like water. It must flow. When you hold on to money with fear, refusing to invest, refusing to give, and constantly operating from a place of lack, you block its natural flow. But when you circulate money, investing in yourself, giving generously, and using money with confidence, it returns to you multiplied. This is why the wealthiest people in the world are also the biggest givers. They understand that money is meant to move. They don't fear losing it because they know that as long as they continue to create value and circulate wealth, it will always come back. If you want to align with the money frequency, practice abundant giving. Give freely without expecting anything in return. Tip generously. Invest in yourself without hesitation. Support causes that matter to you. The more you give, the more you receive. Not because of magic, but because giving shifts your energy from scarcity to abundance. It tells the universe, I am not afraid. I trust that money is always flowing to me. And the moment you adopt that mindset, financial opportunities will start appearing where you least expect them. Step 5. Becoming the wealth source. Why money must flow through you. The ultimate secret to financial attraction is to stop seeing money as something external and start seeing yourself as the source of wealth. Money doesn't create wealth, you do. The more valuable you become, the more money naturally flows to you. The more you embody confidence, abundance, and high-level thinking, the more you turn into a financial magnet. From this moment forward, stop looking for money. Stop operating from fear. Stop acting like wealth is something outside of you. Instead, start being wealth. Move with certainty. Speak with power. Make decisions from a place of abundance. When you fully step into this energy, money will no longer be something you pursue. It will be something that effortlessly finds its way to you. This is the shift. This is the transformation. This is how you become unstoppable. Chapter 6. Money is a reflection of you. Transforming your inner world to create outer wealth? Money is not just paper, numbers, or digital balances in an account. It is a mirror, a direct reflection of your inner world, your beliefs, your mindset, and your emotions. Look at your financial situation right now, whether it is thriving, struggling, or stagnant. What you see is not an accident. It is not the result of external circumstances alone. It is the manifestation of your deepest subconscious beliefs about wealth, abundance, and your own self-worth. Many people believe that money is something that happens to them, that their financial reality is dictated by luck, the economy, their upbringing, or the opportunities available to them. But the truth is, money responds to who you are on the inside. Your financial reality is a byproduct of your identity, your daily thoughts, and the emotional energy you hold around wealth. This is why two people can start with the same resources, yet one rises to extraordinary financial success, while the other remains trapped in a cycle of scarcity. It's why some people who inherit millions lose it all within a few short years, while others who begin with nothing go on to build generational wealth. The difference is not in their intelligence, education, or even their work ethic. The difference is in their internal wiring, the subconscious patterns that shape the way they think about money, the way they feel when they engage with it, and the way they behave when financial decisions present themselves. If your financial life is not where you want it to be, understand this. It is not about working harder, searching endlessly for better opportunities, or hoping for a stroke of luck. It is about transforming yourself from the inside out. When you change your identity, your energy, and your beliefs about money, your financial circumstances will follow. Money is always responding to the internal blueprint you hold. If you believe money is difficult to earn, it will be. If you see yourself as someone who struggles financially, you will continue to struggle. But if you change your core relationship with wealth, if you begin to truly see yourself as someone who attracts and commands financial abundance, then everything shifts. Step 1. Your self-image dictates your financial reality. Most people think their bank balance determines their self-worth, but in reality, it's the opposite. Your self-worth determines your bank balance. The way you see yourself financially is one of the most powerful forces shaping your wealth. If you subconsciously identify as someone who is always in financial distress, your mind will work to keep you in alignment with that identity. You will unknowingly make decisions that reinforce struggle, overspending, under-earning, avoiding financial responsibility, or passing up opportunities out of fear. Your subconscious mind is not designed to make you wealthy. It is designed to keep you consistent with your self-image. This is why lottery winners often go broke within a few years. Their financial self-image never shifted. They still saw themselves as the same person they were before the money arrived. And so, without even realizing it, they made choices that led them right back to their old financial reality. On the other hand, consider self-made millionaires who started with nothing. Their external reality may have been one of scarcity in the beginning, but internally, they saw themselves as wealthy long before the money arrived. They thought like wealthy people, they behaved like wealthy people, and eventually, their financial reality caught up with their identity. If you want to transform your financial life, you must begin by transforming your self-image. Start paying attention to the stories you tell yourself about money. Do you say things like, "I never have enough," "I'm terrible with money," or "making money is hard"? These are not just words. They are commands to your subconscious. Every time you speak them, you reinforce a financial identity that keeps you stuck. The way to break this cycle is to consciously reprogram your self-image. Begin telling yourself a new story. I am a wealth creator. Money flows to me effortlessly. I am a magnet for financial abundance. I deserve unlimited prosperity. At first, your subconscious may resist. It has been conditioned to believe in struggle. But repetition is key. The more you affirm your new financial identity, the sooner your subconscious mind will accept it as truth. And once your identity shifts, your actions and financial results will begin to align with it. Step 2. Healing your emotional relationship with money. Your financial struggles are not just logical, they are emotional. Money is deeply tied to feelings, fear, stress, guilt, or even shame. Many people have subconscious wounds around money, often formed in childhood. If you grew up in a household where money was scarce, where financial stress was constant, or where wealth was seen as something unattainable, those experiences may have left emotional imprints that still control your financial reality today. Think about the emotions that arise when you check your bank balance, when you spend money, or when you talk about finances. Do you feel anxiety, a sense of panic, a feeling of not having enough? If so, those emotions are shaping the way money moves in your life. Wealthy individuals have a completely different emotional relationship with money. They view it as a tool, not a source of stress. They do not fear losing money because they know they can always create more. They do not feel guilt about having money because they understand that financial abundance allows them to help others and live with freedom. To change your financial future, you must heal your emotional relationship with money. One powerful exercise is to journal about your money memories. Write down the earliest experiences you remember involving money. How did your parents talk about it? What beliefs were passed down to you? Then write a new script, one where money is a positive force in your life, one where you are financially empowered, one where abundance flows freely to you. Step 3. Aligning your energy with wealth. Everything in the universe operates on frequency, including money. If you constantly focus on financial struggle, you are vibrating at the frequency of scarcity. And because like attracts like, you will continue to experience financial challenges. But if you shift your energy to abundance, confidence, and gratitude, money will begin flowing to you with ease. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to raise your financial vibration. Every day, take a moment to appreciate the money you do have, no matter how little it may seem. Gratitude signals to the universe that you are open to receiving more. The wealthiest people in the world operate from this state of trust. They believe money is always flowing to them, and because of that belief, it does. Step 4. Taking aligned financial action. Your mindset and emotions set the foundation, but action is what brings wealth into reality. If you think wealthy, feel wealthy, but still behave like someone who is broke, avoiding investments, fearing financial decisions, or spending impulsively, you will remain stuck. Wealthy individuals make financial choices with long-term prosperity in mind. They focus on increasing assets, creating multiple income streams, and leveraging money instead of simply earning it. Step 5. Trusting the process. Becoming the wealth source. The final and most powerful shift is understanding that you are the source of wealth. Money does not come from a job, a business, or an investment. It comes from the value you create. The moment you stop seeing money as something external and start seeing yourself as the source, you step into true financial power. You begin to trust in your ability to generate wealth, no matter the circumstances. You operate from a place of abundance rather than fear. This is the transformation. This is the breakthrough. Stop looking for money. Start becoming it. Move with certainty. Think like wealth. Feel like wealth. Act like wealth. When you embody abundance at every level, money will no longer be something you chase. It will be something that naturally flows to you. And this is only the beginning. There is so much more to uncover. Let's continue the journey. Chapter 7. Rewiring your financial blueprint, escaping scarcity and programming abundance. Money does not obey logic alone. It follows patterns, subconscious blueprints, and emotional imprints buried deep within you. If you have ever wondered why you seem to hit the same financial ceilings over and over, why your bank account seems to reflect a cycle of struggle no matter how hard you work, or why wealth seems to slip away from you the moment you start gaining momentum, the answer is not in the economy, the job market, or even the opportunities available to you. The answer lies in your financial blueprint, the subconscious framework that dictates how you interact with wealth, how much you allow yourself to have, and what you believe is possible for you. Think of your financial blueprint like a thermostat. No matter what happens in your external world, whether you get a raise, win the lottery, or land a big client, if your internal thermostat is set at a certain level of wealth, you will always find a way to return to that financial set point. If your blueprint is programmed for scarcity, you might temporarily increase your income, but soon enough, expenses will rise to meet it, an unexpected crisis will drain your savings, or you will unconsciously sabotage your progress. On the other hand, if your financial thermostat is programmed for abundance, even if you lose everything, you will find a way to rebuild because your internal settings demand it. This is why wealthy people who lose millions often regain them quickly, while those who struggle financially Remain in that cycle despite years of effort. The key to breaking free from financial limitations is not just working harder. It is rewiring your financial blueprint, resetting your wealth thermostat, and reprogramming your subconscious mind to align with abundance. This is not about wishful thinking or repeating empty affirmations. It is about creating a deep internal shift so that wealth becomes your new natural state. Step 1. Identifying your current financial blueprint. Your financial blueprint was formed long before you started earning money. It was shaped by your environment, the conversations you heard about money growing up, the way financial matters were handled in your household, and the emotional experiences you associated with wealth. If money was a source of stress in your childhood, your subconscious may have linked wealth to fear and struggle. If you were told that rich people are greedy or that money is hard to come by, those beliefs may be running in the background, controlling your financial decisions without you realizing it. To uncover your current financial blueprint, start by reflecting on your early money memories. Write down everything you remember about how money was handled in your family. Were finances a source of tension? Were you taught to save every penny because there was never enough? Did you hear phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We're not the kind of people who get rich"? These statements may seem harmless, but they program your subconscious with limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in financial mediocrity. Now, look at your current financial habits. Do you find yourself making money only to lose it? Do you avoid looking at your bank account out of fear? Do you feel guilty spending on yourself even when you can afford it? These behaviors are clues that reveal your internal money programming. Your financial reality is always a reflection of your subconscious beliefs. If you want to change your external results, you must first rewire what's happening beneath the surface. Step 2. Shattering the scarcity mindset. Scarcity is a mindset, not a financial condition. It is a way of seeing the world that keeps you trapped in fear, limitation, and survival mode. The scarcity mindset tells you that money is hard to earn, that there is never enough to go around, and that you must fight for every dollar. It convinces you that wealth is for other people, those who were born into it, those who got lucky, those who have something you don't. And because beliefs shape reality, if you operate from a scarcity mindset, you will always experience financial lack, no matter how much money you make. Breaking free from scarcity begins with understanding that wealth is not a limited resource. Money is created, circulated, and multiplied endlessly. Every second, billions of dollars are flowing across the globe, exchanging hands, being invested, and generating more wealth. There is no shortage of money, only a shortage of belief in your ability to claim your share. To reprogram your mind for abundance, you must actively reject scarcity thinking. This means eliminating words like, "I can't afford that," from your vocabulary. Instead, ask, "How can I afford that?" This small shift trains your brain to focus on solutions instead of limitations. Stop obsessing over financial problems and start directing your energy toward wealth-building opportunities. Scarcity keeps you trapped in a cycle of reacting to financial struggles. Abundance moves you into a state of creation and expansion. One of the most powerful ways to rewire your brain for abundance is by surrounding yourself with financial success. If you constantly consume content that reinforces struggle, news about economic downturns, conversations with people who complain about money, or social media posts that glorify financial hardship, you are programming your mind to expect lack. Instead, immerse yourself in the world of wealth. Read books written by self-made millionaires. Listen to interviews with successful entrepreneurs. Spend time with people who have an abundant mindset. When you expose yourself to financial success, your subconscious begins to accept it as your new normal. Step 3. Upgrading your financial identity. Your financial blueprint is ultimately a reflection of your identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles financially, no amount of external success will change your situation because your subconscious will always pull you back to what feels familiar. To permanently shift your financial reality, you must upgrade your identity to match the wealth you desire. Start by asking yourself, who is the wealthiest version of me? How does this version of you think about money? How does this version of you handle finances, make decisions, and interact with opportunities? Begin acting as if you already are that person. If the wealthy version of you invests regularly, start learning about investments. If the wealthy version of you is generous, start giving, even in small amounts. If the wealthy version of you makes confident financial decisions, start embodying that confidence today. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between reality and imagination. When you consistently act in alignment with wealth, your identity shifts and your external world follows. Step 4. Programming abundance through action. Mindset is the foundation, but action is what locks in your new financial blueprint. Once you have reprogrammed your beliefs, you must reinforce them with aligned behavior. If you believe in abundance but still operate from a place of fear, hoarding money, avoiding investments, or turning down opportunities, you are sending mixed signals to your subconscious. Start taking action that reflects financial confidence. Begin managing your money with intention, even if you only have a small amount. Develop the habit of saving and investing, no matter how little you start with. Take calculated financial risks, knowing that wealth grows through expansion, not contraction. Wealthy people do not wait for the perfect circumstances to take action. They create opportunities through movement. Step 5. Trusting the shift and allowing wealth to flow. Rewiring your financial blueprint is not an overnight process. Your subconscious mind will resist at first, trying to pull you back to old patterns. You may experience moments of doubt, setbacks, or financial challenges that test your new mindset. The key is to trust the process. Do not panic when obstacles arise. See them as tests designed to solidify your transformation. The moment you commit to financial abundance, the universe responds. Opportunities will begin appearing, but it is your job to recognize them and take action. Stay consistent with your new beliefs, behaviors, and identity. Wealth is not something you chase. It is something you align with. When you embody the frequency of abundance, money will flow to you effortlessly. Chapter 8. Engineering your wealth infrastructure. Systems that attract and multiply money without effort. Wealth does not happen by accident. It is not the product of luck, nor does it fall into the hands of a select few while eluding everyone else. It is not a game of chance or an exclusive privilege reserved for the already fortunate. Instead, wealth is a system, an organized, strategic, and intentional structure that ensures money flows into your life predictably, grows effortlessly, and remains sustainable over time. Without such a system, money behaves like water in a leaky vessel. No matter how much you earn, it will always find a way to disappear. But with the right structure in place, wealth functions like a sophisticated irrigation network, directing financial flow where it benefits you the most, compounding its impact, and ensuring that prosperity is not a temporary windfall, but a lifelong condition. Most people live their financial lives without a system. They rely on a single source of income, make spending decisions based on emotions rather than strategy, and save or invest inconsistently, hoping that someday financial security will just happen. They react to their financial circumstances instead of designing them, allowing external factors such as the economy, unexpected expenses, or job stability to dictate their financial destiny. This reactive approach is the reason so many remain trapped in cycles of financial instability, regardless of how much they earn. Because real wealth has nothing to do with income alone. It is about how effectively that income is managed, multiplied, and leveraged. Those who build and sustain wealth do not do so through sheer effort alone. They do it through intelligent financial systems that ensure money works for them, even when they are not actively working for it. If you are serious about escaping financial struggle permanently, you must make a fundamental shift in your relationship with money. Instead of thinking in terms of making money, you must start thinking in terms of structuring money. The wealthiest people in the world do not see money as something to be earned and spent. They see it as an energy flow that needs to be directed, optimized, and positioned for maximum growth. They do not depend on a single paycheck or a single business. They create multiple financial engines that generate income from different directions. They do not leave money sitting idle in low-yield savings accounts. They ensure every dollar is working to generate more dollars. They do not approach finances haphazardly, making decisions based on short-term gratification. They engineer financial environments that create long-term exponential results. The most empowering part? You do not need millions in the bank or specialized financial knowledge to start implementing these systems. Wealth-building systems can be put in place at any level of income, and once established, they create a momentum that continues to build over time, allowing money to accumulate, compound, and expand effortlessly. The key is not just making more money, but ensuring that every dollar that enters your life is being utilized in a way that moves you closer to financial freedom. Step 1. Automating your financial success. Setting up an effortless wealth flow. The single most powerful shift in designing a wealth system is moving away from manual, inconsistent money management and stepping into automated wealth accumulation. Most people handle money in an unstructured way. They wait until they receive income, then decide in the moment how much to save, how much to spend, and what to do with the rest. This approach is highly unreliable because it depends on human willpower, emotional decision-making, and constantly shifting priorities. The financially successful do not rely on personal discipline alone. They build fail-proof structures that ensure their money is being directed toward wealth creation before they even have a chance to think about spending it. The easiest and most effective way to do this is through automatic financial transfers. Instead of manually deciding how much to allocate towards savings, investments, and expenses each month, set up automated transactions that move your money into specific accounts the moment it is received. This guarantees that wealth building happens first, not as an afterthought. A simple but transformative system looks like this. 20% of your income is automatically transferred into a high-yield savings or investment account designated purely for wealth accumulation. This money is never used for lifestyle expenses. It is only to be deployed for building assets that generate financial growth. 5 to 10% of your income goes directly into an opportunity fund, a separate account reserved for taking advantage of business investments, wealth-building ventures, or new financial strategies that may arise unexpectedly. This fund ensures you always have capital available to seize profitable opportunities without hesitation. A dedicated percentage is allocated for debt elimination, if applicable, ensuring that high-interest financial burdens are systematically reduced without requiring constant decision-making. The remaining income is designated for daily living expenses, discretionary spending, and lifestyle choices. The critical difference is that this portion comes after your wealth-building contributions, not before. This reversal of the traditional spend first, save later approach is the fundamental difference between financial struggle and financial freedom. By implementing this structure, you guarantee that wealth accumulation is occurring consistently, regardless of your day-to-day decisions. You are no longer relying on the hope that you will have extra money to save. You are ensuring that wealth building is an unavoidable outcome of your financial system. Step 2. Leveraging the power of compounding. How to multiply money effortlessly? Earning money is just the beginning. Real financial independence comes from multiplying money through intelligent financial strategies. The wealthiest individuals in the world do not rely solely on their ability to generate income through labor. They create financial systems where their money grows independently, accumulating wealth even when they are not actively working. there are three primary mechanisms for wealth multiplication. 1. Investing in appreciating assets. The foundation of financial growth lies in owning assets that increase in value over time. This could include stocks, real estate, businesses, or intellectual property. Each dollar you invest wisely becomes a financial employee that works for you, generating returns without requiring additional effort. 2. Creating passive income vehicles. True wealth is built through income streams that do not rely on continuous work. This could be rental properties, dividend-producing stocks, automated businesses, or digital products that provide residual income long after the initial effort. 3. Utilizing financial leverage and tax strategies. The wealthy do not store money in low-interest accounts. They place it in high-growth environments. They utilize tax-advantaged investment accounts, reinvest profits for compounded growth, and maximize financial vehicles that legally reduce tax burdens while increasing wealth. To integrate this into your own financial system, commit to the principle of consistent, automated investment contributions. Even if you start with small amounts, the habit of regularly contributing to wealth-building assets is what leads to exponential financial growth over time. Wealth is not built in a single massive event, but through small, consistent actions that compound over years. Step 3. Expanding your financial ecosystem, the power of multiple income streams. One of the greatest financial risks is relying on a single source of income. The wealthiest individuals ensure their financial security by developing multiple streams of income, guaranteeing that they are never fully dependent on a single job, business, or investment. There are numerous ways to establish additional income sources, including side investments, rental properties, dividend stocks, or small business ventures that generate ongoing revenue. Skill monetization, freelancing, consulting, or coaching based on expertise you already possess. Automated digital income, online courses, books, memberships, or software that provide recurring cash flow. Leveraging existing capital, using profits from one venture to fund new streams of income. By incorporating multiple revenue streams, you create financial resilience, ensuring that even if one income source slows down, your wealth continues to grow. This is not about working harder. It is about building systems that generate income for you, allowing you to step into financial independence without sacrificing your time and energy. Chapter 9. From Consumer to Creator. Shifting your financial identity for unlimited wealth. Wealth is not simply about numbers in a bank account. It is a reflection of identity, of the deep-rooted beliefs you hold about money, your worth, and your role in the financial world. The financially struggling see themselves as consumers, constantly spending, constantly seeking, and always looking for external solutions to internal limitations. They earn money only to hand it over to someone else in exchange for fleeting pleasures, clothes, gadgets, entertainment, or status symbols that provide temporary satisfaction, but no lasting security. In contrast, the wealthy have made a fundamental shift in their identity. They do not see themselves as consumers first. They see themselves as creators. They are not the ones endlessly spending, but the ones designing, producing, and controlling the very systems that generate wealth. They are not at the mercy of the economy, inflation, or job markets, because they have positioned themselves as the architects of value, the ones who decide where money flows, how it multiplies, and how it serves their larger vision. This chapter is about making that shift. Because the truth is, as long as you see yourself primarily as a consumer, you will never escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, no matter how much you earn. A consumer mindset keeps you dependent, always looking for the next product, the next job, the next temporary boost of income, without ever establishing a foundation that generates real wealth. But when you step into the creator mindset, you take control. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles, leverage instead of limitations. You move from being a passive participant in the economy to being an active force that drives it. And when that shift happens, wealth stops being something you chase. It becomes something that flows naturally to you, because you are now the one producing the value that the world is willing to pay for. Step 1. Recognizing the consumer trap and how it keeps you poor. Most people spend their entire lives caught in a system designed to keep them consuming. From childhood, they are taught to spend, to desire, to upgrade, to compete for symbols of success that have no actual financial return. The cycle is predictable. Get an education, get a job, earn a paycheck, spend that paycheck on bills and pleasures, and repeat. When money runs out, the solution is never to build something new, but to work harder, cut back, or seek a raise, always looking for external solutions while remaining in the same consumer-based identity. The result? Even as income increases, wealth does not, because the habit of spending more than you build remains the same. Think about this. If you were to receive an extra $10,000 tomorrow, what would you do with it? Most people would immediately think of ways to spend it. New clothes, a vacation, an upgrade to their car, maybe even paying off some debt. But few would immediately think of ways to multiply it. And that is where the shift must begin. The wealthy do not look at money as something to spend. They see it as capital, something that must be positioned in a way that generates even more. Instead of seeing a new paycheck as an opportunity to buy more, they see it as an opportunity to create more. They do not look at financial resources as something to be consumed, but as seeds that must be planted, cultivated, and expanded into larger financial systems. To break free from the consumer trap, you must start shifting your response to money. Every time you receive income, stop and ask yourself, how can I use this to build something? Instead of spending first and saving what's left, reverse the process. Allocate your capital into wealth-generating assets first, then use what remains for lifestyle choices. This single shift alone can transform your financial reality because it forces you to operate from a creation-first mindset rather than a consumption-based one. Step 2. Understanding that money follows value, not effort. One of the biggest misconceptions about wealth is that it is earned through hard work. While effort is certainly a factor, it is not the defining one. If hard work alone determined financial success, the hardest working people, construction workers, laborers, nurses, teachers, would be the richest. But that is not the reality. The wealthiest people are not necessarily those who work the hardest. They are those who create the most value. Value, not effort, is what money follows. This is why making the shift from consumer to creator is so critical. As a consumer, you are always on the receiving end of value, paying for someone else's ideas, products, and solutions. But as a creator, you position yourself as the source of value, the one who generates, owns, and controls the wealth-producing assets that others are willing to pay for. This could be in the form of businesses, investments, intellectual property, or any other asset that solves problems and meets needs on a scalable level. To start thinking like a creator, begin by asking, what value can I generate that the world is willing to pay for? The answer to that question is the foundation of your financial future. It does not necessarily mean starting a traditional business. It means shifting your focus from earning through labor to earning through value creation. This could mean developing digital products, building automated revenue streams, investing in assets that generate passive income, or leveraging skills in ways that allow you to serve at scale rather than through one-to-one effort. The key is to understand that your income is a reflection of the value you create, not the hours you work. Once you internalize that, the path to financial expansion becomes clear. Increase the value you generate, and income will naturally follow. Step 3. building a wealth-generating ecosystem that works for you. The ultimate goal is to create a self-sustaining wealth ecosystem, one where money is continuously generated, reinvested, and multiplied without requiring your constant effort. This is where most people fall short. They may shift their mindset and start creating value, but if they do not build a system to sustain and expand their wealth, they eventually fall back into the consumer trap, spending everything they make and staying in an endless cycle of starting over. A true wealth ecosystem consists of multiple interconnected financial engines, all working together to create continuous expansion. These include income-producing assets, investments, rental properties, businesses or intellectual property that generate cash flow, compounding financial vehicles, stocks, bonds, or other investment instruments that allow money to grow passively over time, automated revenue streams, digital products, royalties, or other forms of income that do not require ongoing labor, leverage and scaling mechanisms, strategies that allow you to maximize returns by using existing capital or resources more efficiently. The key is integration. Instead of relying on a single income stream or wealth-building method, a financial ecosystem ensures that money is continuously flowing, growing, and being reinvested into new opportunities. The goal is to reach a point where your wealth is not dependent on your direct effort, where your assets generate money independently, allowing you to focus on strategic expansion rather than constant labor. This is the moment when you truly step into financial power. When you are no longer chasing money, but money is working for you. When you are no longer a consumer, lost in cycles of spending, but a creator, actively designing the financial systems that sustain and expand your wealth indefinitely. Make the shift. Step into your role as the architect of your financial future. The world does not reward those who consume the most. It rewards those who create the most. Be a creator. Be the one who builds. Be the one who decides. And watch as money, opportunity, and abundance flow to you, not by chance, but by design. Chapter 10. The Psychology of Money Mastery. Reprogramming your mind for abundance and financial dominance. Money is not just numbers on a screen, paper in your wallet, or metal in your pocket. Money is psychology. It is energy shaped by belief, directed by emotion, and controlled by the subconscious narratives you carry deep within you. The truth that most people never fully grasp is that financial success is 80% mindset and only 20% strategy. While systems, investments, and income streams are vital, none of them will work if your mind is wired to reject wealth. And this is precisely why so many people, no matter how much they earn, remain stuck in financial struggle. They live their lives unconsciously, following scripts that keep them trapped, scripts inherited from their upbringing, society, and past experiences. Some are told that making money is hard, that wealth is only for the lucky, or that rich people are greedy and dishonest. Others are conditioned to believe that financial security is found in playing it safe, getting a steady job, saving modestly, and never taking risks. These beliefs, deeply rooted in their subconscious, shape their every financial decision, often sabotaging them before they even begin. If you were to suddenly receive $10 million, would you be able to keep it? Most people wouldn't, not because they are irresponsible, but because their identity is not aligned with that level of wealth. Subconsciously, they would find ways to get rid of it: bad investments, excessive spending, or self-sabotage, because deep down, they do not believe they are meant to have it. This is why lottery winners often lose everything within years. Their financial reality cannot exceed their internal reality. But the reverse is also true. When someone has a strong wealth mindset, even if they lose everything, they rebuild it. They do not panic because they are wealth. It is not something external to them. It is part of their identity. This is the mindset shift that separates those who struggle from those who thrive. To build true financial power, you must rewire the way you think about money at its core. You must eliminate limiting beliefs, reprogram your subconscious, and align your identity with wealth. Until you do this, no financial strategy will work long-term. But once you make this shift, wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something that naturally flows into your life, because you have become the kind of person who attracts, manages, and multiplies money effortlessly. Step 1. Identifying and eliminating financial limiting beliefs. Every financial result you have, good or bad, is a reflection of your underlying beliefs about money. If you constantly struggle, find it difficult to save, or never seem to get ahead, it is because there are subconscious patterns running in the background, dictating your actions and keeping you stuck. The first step to financial mastery is uncovering these beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones. Start by asking yourself, what are my first memories of money? For many, these memories are negative. Maybe you grew up hearing arguments about bills, seeing your parents struggle, or being told that money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are selfish. These experiences shape your financial programming. If, as a child, you associated money with stress, scarcity, or conflict, your subconscious mind will continue to push it away, even as an adult. To break free, you must rewrite these beliefs. Instead of, money is hard to make, tell yourself, money flows to me easily because I create immense value. Instead of, rich people are greedy, say, wealth allows me to help others and make a massive impact. Instead of, there's never enough, affirm, there is always more than enough, and I attract endless opportunities. This is not about blind positivity. It is about shifting the internal stories that govern your financial life. Your mind will always find ways to confirm your beliefs. If you believe money is scarce, you will notice scarcity everywhere. If you believe money is abundant, opportunities will seem to appear out of nowhere. This is not magic. It is perception bias. Your brain filters reality based on what you expect. Change your expectations, and your world changes with it. Step 2. Reprogramming your identity to match financial success. We do not earn what we want. We earn what we believe we are worth. Your income level, financial habits, and net worth are all direct reflections of your self-image. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, your reality will match that. If you see yourself as someone who attracts wealth effortlessly, your external world will adjust accordingly. This is why people with a broke mentality stay broke, no matter how much they make, and why those with a wealth identity rise to financial success even after failure. To reprogram your identity, start acting as if you are already wealthy. This does not mean reckless spending. It means adopting the behaviors, habits, and thought patterns of financially successful people. Wealthy individuals do not panic over money, hoard it out of fear, or waste it mindlessly. They think strategically, make long-term decisions, and trust in their ability to create value. If you start embodying these traits now, wealth will begin aligning with you. One powerful exercise is visualization. Every day, spend a few minutes closing your eyes and seeing yourself as your financially successful future self. What does your bank account look like? How do you make decisions? How do you handle money? The more vividly you experience this, the more your subconscious will accept it as reality, reshaping your financial behaviors to match. Another key practice is upgrading your financial environment. Your surroundings influence your beliefs. If you spend time with people who struggle financially, constantly talk about money problems, and operate from scarcity, you will absorb their mindset. Surround yourself with wealth-conscious individuals, people who think in terms of abundance, investments, and financial growth. Read books on wealth, listen to successful entrepreneurs, and immerse yourself in conversations that elevate your financial intelligence. The more you expose yourself to wealth-conscious thinking, the faster your identity shifts. Step 3. Creating a money blueprint that guarantees success. Reprogramming your mind is only half the battle. You must also create a financial blueprint, a clear, structured plan that ensures your actions align with your new wealth mindset. Without a plan, even the strongest mindset can fall into old habits. A money blueprint is your personal system for wealth accumulation, growth, and sustainability. Your blueprint should include a clear vision for your financial future. Know exactly where you want to be in 5, 10, and 20 years. The more specific, the better. Daily financial habits. Wealth is built through consistency. This includes tracking expenses, automating savings, and reviewing investments regularly. A strategic income plan. Multiple streams of income are essential. Identify how you will increase earnings through investments, side businesses, or scaling your skills. A growth-focused money mindset routine. Just as athletes train their bodies, you must train your mind. Read financial books, practice visualization, and reinforce wealth beliefs daily. Your financial destiny is not set in stone. It is shaped by your thoughts, your beliefs, and the systems you create. When you align your subconscious, identity, and financial blueprint with wealth, success becomes inevitable. Money is not an external force. It is a reflection of who you are. Transform the way you think, and money will follow. Chapter 11. Building a Financial Legacy. How to create wealth that outlives you. True wealth is not measured by what you earn, but by what you leave behind. Too many people focus on making money for today, trapped in the cycle of earning and spending, without ever considering the bigger picture. But the truly wealthy, those who build financial dynasties, think generationally. They do not just work for a paycheck. They work to create a system that ensures their wealth continues growing long after they are gone. They do not see money as something to be spent, but as a tool to shape the future, to empower their family, and to leave an impact that lasts for decades, even centuries. If you look at the richest families in the world, from the Rockefellers to the Rothschilds, you will notice one thing. Their wealth is not the result of one lucky break or a few high-paying years. It is the result of a system, a structured financial ecosystem designed to multiply wealth across generations. It is not about simply earning more. It is about positioning money in a way that it continues to expand indefinitely, creating financial security not just for yourself, but for your children, their children, and beyond. Most people never reach this level of wealth building because they think too small. They focus only on their lifetime, never considering the power of generational wealth. But here is the truth. Wealth, when managed correctly, does not die with you. It can be structured to outlive you, to support future generations, and to continue growing without end. But this does not happen by accident. It happens through intentional planning, strategic investments, and a mindset shift from short-term financial thinking to long-term financial legacy. Step 1. Adopting the legacy mindset, thinking beyond your lifetime. The first and most important shift you must make is to stop thinking in terms of weeks, months, or years, and start thinking in terms of decades and centuries. The reason so many people fail to create lasting wealth is because they only plan for the immediate future. They worry about the next bill, the next job, the next raise, but never stop to consider how their financial choices will shape the next 50 years. The wealthy, on the other hand, think long-term. They ask themselves, how will this decision impact my family in 100 years? How can I structure my money so that it continues growing even when I'm gone? To adopt this mindset, you must start shifting your financial goals. Instead of focusing solely on personal income, focus on assets that outlive you. Instead of asking how much money you can make this year, ask how much you can invest in things that will continue to generate wealth decades from now. This includes real estate, businesses, intellectual property, and investments that do not just serve your short-term lifestyle, but lay the foundation for permanent financial security. One of the greatest examples of this mindset is Warren Buffett. While most people spend their income on luxuries that depreciate, Buffett reinvests every dollar into assets that compound over time. He understands that money is a seed, and when planted correctly, it does not just grow, it multiplies exponentially. The average person thinks about buying things. The wealthy think about planting money in places where it will continue growing forever. This is the difference between short-term financial survival and long-term financial dominance. Step 2. Creating wealth-producing assets that never stop growing. If you want to build a financial legacy, you need to focus on ownership, owning assets that generate income long after you stop working. The wealthy do not just work for money. They create systems that work for them. They understand that true wealth is built not through labor, but through ownership of cash-flowing assets. Some of the most powerful legacy-building assets include real estate. Unlike money in a bank account, real estate appreciates in value and generates cash flow. A single property, when structured properly, can provide income for generations. Wealthy families often pass down portfolios of properties that continue producing passive income long after they are gone. Businesses. Instead of being an employee, become an owner. Businesses, when built correctly, can continue operating and producing wealth even when you are no longer actively involved. Think of McDonald's, Walmart, or Tesla. Companies that generate billions because their founders created systems that survive them. Investments in the stock market. The power of compounding is one of the greatest financial tools available. When you invest in stocks, ETFs, or index funds, your money does not just sit, it multiplies. Even a modest investment, when left to compound over decades, can turn into a fortune. Intellectual property and royalties. Books, patents, music rights, and digital assets can generate income indefinitely. A single book, if structured properly, can provide royalties for a lifetime. A software product, once created, can be sold repeatedly without additional effort. The key is to build something that lasts beyond you. Step 3. Protecting your wealth with structures that outlive you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that simply accumulating wealth is enough. But wealth without protection is vulnerable. Without the right structures in place, taxes, lawsuits, mismanagement, or even reckless family members can destroy everything you have built. This is why the truly wealthy do not just accumulate assets. They create structures that ensure their wealth is preserved, protected, and passed down efficiently. Some of the most powerful wealth protection strategies include trusts and estate planning. A trust allows you to control how your wealth is managed even after you are gone. Instead of leaving money in a will, which can be contested and taxed heavily, a trust ensures your assets are distributed according to your specific instructions, protecting them from lawsuits, divorce settlements, or irresponsible heirs. Holding companies. Instead of owning assets in your personal name, which exposes them to liability, create an LLC or holding company. This shields your wealth from legal attacks, creditors, and financial instability. Tax optimization. The wealthy do not just make money, they understand how to keep it. By using tax-efficient strategies, such as setting up businesses in tax-friendly jurisdictions, leveraging deductions, and using investment structures that minimize tax liabilities, they ensure that their wealth continues growing instead of being drained by unnecessary taxes. Insurance and asset protection. Life insurance, umbrella policies, and other financial instruments can provide an additional layer of security, ensuring that your wealth is not wiped out by unexpected events. Step 4. Teaching the next generation to sustain and expand wealth. One of the most overlooked aspects of wealth building is education. Many families lose their wealth within 3 generations, not because they did not accumulate enough, but because they failed to educate their heirs on how to manage and grow it. The first generation builds the wealth, the second maintains it, and the third often squanders it because they were never taught how wealth works. To create a financial legacy that truly lasts, you must pass on financial intelligence, not just money. This means teaching your children about money from an early age, how to invest, how to manage cash flow, and how to create assets instead of just spending. Involving them in financial decision-making so they understand the principles behind wealth accumulation. Instilling values of discipline, responsibility, and strategic thinking so they do not fall into the trap of entitlement or reckless spending. Some of the wealthiest families in history hold annual financial education meetings where they teach younger generations about money, investments, and business strategies. They understand that financial knowledge is just as important as financial resources, because money without wisdom disappears quickly, but financial intelligence lasts forever. Final thoughts: the power of legacy wealth. The goal is not just to make money, it is to create something that lasts. When you shift from thinking in years to thinking in generations, everything changes. You stop chasing quick wins and start building permanent financial systems. You stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a dynasty builder. And when you do that, wealth stops being temporary. It becomes permanent. Build not just for today, but for the future. The wealth you create now should not just serve you, it should serve generations. This is how you move from being rich to being legendary. Chapter 12. The Ultimate Transformation: Becoming Money Itself. You have spent this journey unlearning the false narratives, breaking the mental chains that kept you in financial mediocrity, and replacing them with the mindset, habits, and strategies of the truly wealthy. You now understand that money is not something to be pursued. It is something to be embodied. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is not in their effort, but in their being. Wealth is not outside of you. It is within you. It is a frequency, an identity, a way of existing in the world. The final transformation is not about how much money you make, but about becoming money itself. To reach this level, you must shift your entire perception of self. You can no longer see yourself as someone who earns money, or even someone who owns money. You must become a source of money, a human financial ecosystem. The wealthy are not simply lucky individuals who stumbled upon success. They are money generators, individuals who have built themselves into walking, breathing financial powerhouses. And this is where your ultimate evolution must lead. When you reach this point, you will never have to chase money again. Instead, money will flow to you effortlessly because you have become the kind of person to whom wealth is magnetized. Step 1. Eliminating the final scarcity residue. Releasing all financial fear, even after acquiring the right mindset, skills, and wealth-building tools. Many people still carry an underlying fear of loss. They worry about recessions, bad investments, and economic downturns. They hold on to money tightly, afraid of losing it, and ironically, in doing so, they sabotage their wealth. This fear stems from the subconscious belief that money is external, something you have to protect, hold on to, or fight for. But once you realize that you are the source of wealth, this fear dissolves completely. Think about it. If you had the ability to generate infinite wealth, would you ever fear losing money? No, because you would understand that it is something you can create at will. And this is the truth. Your ability to create money is not tied to a job, an investment, or an economy. It is tied to your ability to generate value, to solve problems, to innovate, and to see opportunities where others see limitations. The final step in your financial transformation is understanding that money does not create wealth. You create wealth. The economy does not determine your success. You do. The market does not control your destiny. You do. Once this realization becomes embedded in your consciousness, financial fear will vanish forever. Step 2. Automating your wealth, turning money into a self-sustaining system. The wealthy do not work for money. They make money work for them. If you still have to trade time for money, you have not yet reached the highest level of financial mastery. True wealth means creating systems that generate money indefinitely without requiring your constant involvement. This is not just about passive income. It is about automated financial dominance. The most powerful wealth-building systems are compounding investment structures. Your money should not just sit in a bank. It should be constantly multiplying. This includes index funds, dividend stocks, real estate funds, and high-yield investments that grow on autopilot. A simple but effective rule: every dollar you earn should be put to work immediately. Evergreen business models. The wealthiest people in the world own assets that generate money continuously. This includes intellectual property, books, courses, patents, digital products, software, and businesses that operate independently of your time. The key is to remove yourself from the equation. If your income still depends on your direct effort, you are not yet free. Cash flow infrastructure. Cash flow is more important than net worth. You could have $10 million in assets, but if none of them generate income, you are still financially dependent. Your financial system must include streams of income that replenish themselves without your constant input. By automating these wealth streams, you ensure that your financial empire continues to expand even when you are sleeping, traveling, or taking time off. This is the ultimate level of financial independence, not just having money, but having a money machine that runs on its own. Step 3. Becoming a financial influence, making money an extension of your being. At the highest level, money is no longer something you think about. It becomes a byproduct of your existence. You no longer chase wealth because everything you do, every conversation you have, and every action you take naturally attracts financial opportunities. This is the level where wealth stops being transactional and starts being energetic. Wealthy people do not constantly check their bank accounts or obsess over every dollar. They live in a state of flow, knowing that money will always come because they have positioned themselves as irreplaceable value creators. When you reach this state, every room you enter, every project you touch, and every conversation you have generates money, not because you are trying, but because your very presence adds value. The key to this level is unshakable confidence. You must operate with the certainty that wealth is your natural state. You must speak, move, and act as someone who is already financially limitless. This is not arrogance. It is the understanding that you are a wealth conduit, someone through whom money moves, grows, and expands. This is why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, because they have become magnets for money. The more value you create, the more effortlessly wealth flows into your life. Step 4. Expanding beyond money. Wealth as a legacy, not a destination. At this stage, wealth is no longer about numbers. It is about impact. Money is just a tool. What truly matters is what you do with it. Once you have automated your income, built your wealth structures, and mastered your financial psychology, the final step is expansion. How will your wealth shape the world? What will you build that outlasts you? The wealthiest individuals in history did not just accumulate money. They built movements. They funded revolutions, changed industries, and created systems that transformed millions of lives. Your wealth must go beyond yourself. It must become a force. This could mean building a foundation, funding innovations, or creating systems that uplift others. The goal is not just to die rich. It is to live wealthy in every sense of the word. True wealth is measured by how many people you empower, how much impact you make, and how far your influence reaches. Money is not the end goal. It is the beginning of something much greater. When you understand this, wealth stops being a personal achievement and starts being a universal force. This is it. You are no longer a person chasing wealth. You have become wealth. Every financial struggle, every limiting belief, and every obstacle that once held you back has now been shattered. You no longer see money as something separate from you. It is an extension of your very existence. You are now a source of money. Your thoughts generate opportunities. Your actions create value. Your presence